Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's good to be back. Just give me 1 second. I just want to post on Facebook real fast so my peeps know. And then we will get started. So I'm back to my other setup. I think I'm pretty much done working towards the one video I was doing with that other tablet. I don't know if I need to do too much else. Not what I wanted. So, yeah, I'm gonna be using my original tablet today, not my original one, but the one I typically use where I can actually see on the screen. So we'll be able to kind of. Sorry, I'm horrible at multitasking. I know I've said that many times before. Alright. So yeah, we're back to the other setup, which means hopefully slightly better drawings. And maybe things can be done a little quicker. But yeah, I hope that y'all all had a great break. I did miss doing the streams. I missed seeing y'all and seeing you comment, stuff like that. I hope that you're doing fantastic. I don't know if you celebrate the holidays that US just went through or not, but like Thanksgiving and things like that. But if you do, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. And we are going to go back to using Mark's stuff for now, so you'll be able to see the references in the upper left-hand corner. But I think the very next one that I do, so probably the next one will be, I might do one tomorrow, I might wait, but the very next one, hopefully I'll have some different references. So, let's go ahead and get started here. Oof. So 1 second. Oh man, this is so weird. Going back to this. Give me 1 second, because I do think something is off. Oops. Let me see, what's a good cube brush should be good for that. Yeah, the opacity's not working correctly. I was wondering why that was. Sorry, Roy! Yeah, I did come down, Roy, on Thanksgiving, or on Saturday, actually. Yep. Alright, I'm not sure why the opacity isn't changing. Sorry, give me 1 second, I just need to troubleshoot. Let's see. No, it's still not working. I'm wondering if that's because the other whatchamacallit is on there. I don't really know how to solve that problem without shutting everything down. I don't know why Chris decided not to do that. It was probably just because I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Let me try leaving this and coming back in. Sorry, give me 1 second, everybody. I'm trying to figure it. Let me go all the way out, because I don't want to have to shut the stream down. See if that did the trick. I don't think it did. Oh, it did not. You know, I noticed that the other day, actually. Let me... Interesting. Okay. So this seems like... Sorry, guys. I know that this is not fun to watch, because it literally looks like I'm doing nothing, but... there's something fishy going on. Yeah, this is not working correctly. How do I fix that? Let's go to the pen. Press key. Let's turn off ink, maybe? No. Well, this is annoying. I was really excited to start streaming. Give me 1 second, I have to look online, I want to see. Inside Clip Studio Paint, go to the file, preferences, using, choose tablet, okay, toggle between the two. Pressure. That didn't work. Let's try. That's still not working. Let me go back to here. I guess do this. And there it goes. Okay. We got it, people. Cool. Sorry about that, everybody. Working out the kinks, working out the kinks. Alright, so back to the reference. Oh man, it is so strange doing this now. After not having this screen for so long, this is really strange. I mean, I don't even know if it was for so long either. It was only a few days, but it's wild how just a few days changes like your workflow. Well, I guess it was a week. Yeah, I haven't used the tablet in a week. so weird. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, this is like not going well because my brain is trying to get used to doing it this way again. It's so funny. Yeah, so my gestures are going to be ugly for a few days, I feel. Next. Roy, I don't know if you're still there. Sorry, I kind of like started drawing and kind of forgot to really respond to you. But yeah, I would say ask Chris, like, I don't really know why he didn't want to invite or why he decided not to, or maybe he forgot. I don't really know. It's also a difficult time for them because they got to travel, and I mean, it's not far, but they do have to do a lot for Thanksgiving. And oh, you know what? Also, he had to go Christmas shopping for the kids too, so I know that was probably exhausting as well. Next, I will say, after not doing this for a few days, I feel really slow. Like my observation and stuff is just slightly off. Like I can feel it. I can feel it. It's such a bad feeling too, and it's just like, hey man, like just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I was doing this, and it was coming so easy, and then now. That one came out the best so far. this one also felt pretty good. Getting my flow again with this tablet. Yeah, that one came out fine. Quick break. Noise. Oof. Hope everybody in the chat is doing well. Or I guess that's viewing. Don't have anybody in the chat right this minute. So the way that I break this up for people who might not have been here before is I do a minute 30-second gestures. I do 5 of those, and I take a 1 minute break. Then I do 5 at 2 minutes, take another minute break, and then I do 5 more. If y'all have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask. I will get to the question as soon as I can. Oof. And starting again. Okay. So now I have 2 minutes. So this is a pretty stiff pose that was done on purpose. So I'm gonna actually spice it up a bit. And this is something you can do with your gestures as well. It's perfectly okay. So I'm going to take this gesture and I'm gonna make it so that her hip is popping out. Yo, what's up, Coop? How was your Thanksgiving, man? So her hip's popping out a little bit. So now that I've done that, the knees are gonna kind of follow suit, right? So this knee is gonna come and be like right in here. And then we're gonna get the tibia, fibula. So again, it's gonna have somewhat of a similar thing going on here. And at this point, I'm not using the reference at all, right? I'm just kind of going. But oops, no. That's fine. So this shoulder up, this shoulder down. I'll have it crossed in front. And then this one I'll have go to the back like that. Was it perfect? No, but that's okay. We move on. So this pose isn't stiff, so I will draw this one as I see it. It means nothing with the amount of work I still got left. Yeah. You got a lot of schoolwork you're supposed to get done before the break there, Coop? So this is stylized, this drawing that I'm looking at, because the arms, the upper arms, don't go quite to where they probably should be, which is the rib cage, and that's because it actually does, but that's because Mark actually enjoys doing rib cages on some characters shorter. It gives it an aesthetic that's pretty cool looking. Well, Coop, make sure you get your work done, man. One of my favorite poses. I don't know why I like this pose so much, but I love it. I think it's a really good one. Probably because of the, it's pretty dynamic in that it has this line for the shoulders and this line for the hips. So you get this really cool curve that happens in here before the leg drops down, and then kind of curves this way. And this leg comes out in here. Then you get this, and get that here. Then you get this foot in here. Make the head a little bigger, and then shoulder, arm, and alrighty. Next, all right, Coop. Yep, get it done. Appreciate you dropping in. I feel like I don't give that much commentary, so you could probably watch and do your homework at the same time without it being too much of a distraction, actually. Oh, shoulder's getting sore. Alright, so we got that. Then we're gonna get here. Alright, so that's that one. Probably got 5 seconds. Oh, staying in. Alright. Appreciate it, Coop. Appreciate it. I am only like 50 hours away from being monetized, by the way. So, think we'll be able to get it this week, everybody. I appreciate all the support in getting this far. And hopefully, this is just the beginning and we can continue to grow. Oof, what was that? Sorry, Coop, I'll get to that in just a second. Alright, let me pause. Good time to pause, too. Thoughts on time skips on the first chapter episode from preteen to teen adult? That's a good question. I would say, what is the purpose of showing them as a preteen first? Like that's the real question, right? Because I think it would be fine if there's a reason why you're doing it. Allie, hi. Thank you for joining. But yeah, Coop, I think it just depends on what your reasoning is for doing a time skip. Like that's it. That's all I would have to say about that. Because it can work, but it can also go really, really wrong. Wish I would have known that the break was coming. I wouldn't have stopped for a bit. Appreciate you jumping on, Allie. Welcome, welcome. So, after I do this next set of... Yeah, I was going to say, to me it sounds like you're doing a flashback. So, the next question you would want to ask yourself is, do I need to have this flashback now in the beginning? Or is it something I can hold off for until the end? That's the real question there. Or not the end, but a different part to like kind of raise a little bit of tension or mystery or something like that, right? So those are the things you want to think about when you're writing flashbacks, because if it's you only want to give the information when it's needed. If you give all the information too soon, you kind of run out of the story, right? So all right. So this. What does this figure drawing stuff help with? I will show you right after I'm done what this has helped me with. By when I'm done, I mean about 10 minutes. But the quick answer is it helps you learn anatomy better. It helps you also with drawing from imagination as well. And it also helps with making sure figures and stuff don't look stiff when you're drawing them. So it helps with a lot. If you want to be a character artist of any kind, it's almost like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of professional places that, you know, for instance, you want to be a concept artist, a lot of the video game industries or other industries that a concept artist would be needed for, they have like live people come in a lot of the times, and you'll do figure drawings from like live. It just is really, really helpful. So it's not coming out too great, but that's alright. What's up, Shiny? Dude, what am I doing with this one? This is horrible. Oh, I didn't even see it. Give me 1 second, Coop. Coop said it establishes the character motive. Can you reveal that later? Do you need to establish it right away? Is there a way that you can hide that information for a little bit? I'm doing pretty well, Shiny. How have you been doing? I'm really happy to be back. It weirdly feels like it's been forever, and it really hasn't. It's been less than a week, but... Oh no, I ran out of space. That's okay. Yo, what's up, Chris? Ooh, this one's rough. It's alright. Move on to the next one. That's the good thing about gesture as well, and doing them timed, is that you don't have enough time to really worry too much about how poorly something came out, because you're just moving on to the next thing. Appreciate you hopping on, Chris. I know you had a busy day. Alrighty. This knee is there. Yeah, maybe a little lower. Here. Hey, we got a sub. Who did we get a sub from? Christopher Alston. Welcome. I know you're probably not in the chat, but welcome, welcome. I'm pretty happy with the way that one came out. I wonder if I have... Yeah, I can probably fit one in there. Oh, I didn't know you just had a birthday. Coop, happy late birthday, man. That's awesome. I keep drawing too big for my paper. Yeah, that does happen. It takes a little bit of skill to... Not skill, but practice more. To figure out how to... like, manage the space that you have. Because I run out of canvas sometimes too. See, I just did. So we will shrink this down. And I don't know why I'm like scribbling today. I hate that. Alright. You know, I always do that. I'm always like, oh, this is so horrible. And then you zoom out and you look at it and it's like, not too bad. I think I did actually see your face, Scoop. I think I did. Because I think what you, Pat, and maybe even DJ all had like a regular like picture up of your face. So these are the spoils of today. And there's a lot of, like, every time you do this, you're learning something. Like, it doesn't matter, for instance, that I've used the same images like 50 times, right? Every time I've done this, I learned something. Alright. Alright, Ali, so... You asked why that stuff is useful, so I mean I didn't answer it, but for instance, if you use the same gestures over and over again, you start to memorize those gestures as well. So one of the ones that I just did that I can do is this one. I might need to switch out this pen nib. I need to get into the habit of one line. This feels a little wide. So now I can go in. I mean, I'm gonna have to make the head bigger because that's just me in a nutshell. Like, always making heads too small. Let me think here. It goes outside down here. Jeez, what's happening? A little better. So this. And the other thing that happens too if you do enough gesture is you start to see issues with proportions quicker. So one thing that I immediately saw was the lower leg, at least in the style that I typically draw in, the lower leg was much too long. So I got that in. Now this arm is coming towards us. Stop scribbling. The elbow here. And then get this shoulder here. Drops down here, and then get down there, and I can make the head bigger. And bam, right? So let's compare this to the one that I did before. Oops. So is it perfect? No. But does it work? Does it look like a human body? Yes. To be honest with you, if anything, this one to me that one looks more grounded. Like I can see the foot placement and know like, okay, that's where the ground is. That's pretty much where the horizon line is. Whereas this one, it's a little like crooked. So that's why gesture is so important. Um, that's so helpful. So that's one from imagination. Um, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do maybe two more from imagination, and then we will. I'll take a request or two. Um, hmm. Let's. I'm gonna do one that I'm literally just gonna make up. I've done this one before, but I want to try it again because it involves a lot of um. King Rai, how's it going? But yeah, this is first time here, Enyo-san. Sorry if I just butchered your name, but I had fun saying it. Welcome. I appreciate you hopping on. Yeah, no problem at all. I have a lot of fun doing these, and I learn a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna try this pose. Uh, where the character is. Here. Oh, jeez. Like a 1.5 on the Richter scale, or what is that? I know anatomy, but I can't do this gesture stuff. When I do it, it looks like a child. Do you remember if you felt this way at the beginning of doing your figure? Yes. Here. I do this. I feel like I do this like every other stream. But I want to show you some of my first ever gesture drawings. Or not first ever. Shoot, if I showed you the first ever, you'd be like, whoa. What is going on here? Did I do it in here? I think I did. So these are some of my first ones. Sorry, again, I keep saying first, I don't mean that. These are some of the gestures that I did, and they were 45 seconds and then 1 minute. This is when I was first starting to do like the long practice that I'm currently doing. Okay. I didn't know if there was like a different form of measurement that you were talking about, but I'm glad that it was not too bad. So these are some of the gestures that I did a year ago about. So you can see there's a huge difference between that and what I'm currently doing. And what I'm currently doing is more volumized. So when you first start, it looks horrible. It doesn't feel great, but trust me, just keep pushing, keep practicing. Hey, we got the 10 likes already. You'll get there. Yeah, I think the highest magnitude earthquake that I've ever felt was like a 3 point something in Virginia, which is just really odd, but yeah, no problem. Alright, I'm gonna have earthquakes they're pretty, like, it's a really strange experience. Mine happened when I was still in high school, and the TV in the room started to shake. It was pretty wild. One of the high school teachers just like ran out of the room without the kids, and then had to come back. uh, is that how I want this? I'm gonna move it. Oh man, I feel like I was doing this much better a few weeks ago. Do have to remember to be kind to myself though, because I did have a very long few days at work, so my brain is not operating at its normal capacity. His legs are too big. A little too thick. We thought it was a bear pushing on. That's funny. Oh, sorry. We got the 10 likes and I forgot to celebrate. Thanks everybody for the 10 likes. Can we get to 20? We'll see. Alright. So how did I do this pose before? Oh yeah. I had his arm going this way. And then like this. You're not going to be able to see all of that shoulder. Head's too small, as always. Alright, so we're going to get, there's going to be a little bit more twist there. Alright, I think that the leg could definitely come out more and more this way. And then we're gonna get kind of straight down and then kind of go back a bit. Gotta go. Hope you have a good afternoon. Thank you. I appreciate you jumping on and saying hi and leaving a like and all that good stuff. Hope you have a great night. Hopefully no more earthquakes hit. But I appreciate you, King Rai. Alright, so believe it or not, this is already mostly complete in my eyes, so do I want that or no, I'll just do this. The one thing that I would change right now is the head is not where it needs to be. It needs to be here, probably a little bigger even still. There it goes. And then I get this. Shoulder blades. We're gonna get so all of this. How about I just make a series about a monkey? You should do that. You should definitely do that. So yes, if basic shapes is the goal for body drawing, is it worth learning the skeleton and muscle stuff? Yes, it is. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. we got that there. I'm saying that this leg is going back in space. And then foot's going to be here like this. I could probably push it out. Alright, and I will shrink the upper body down just a tad, and then I'm going to lean him just a bit. Alright, so I'm really sorry, I'm probably just butchering your name, but Ennio, so you're asking, is it worth it to learn the anatomy? So let me show you why. Even though learning basic shapes is probably the first step, this would be the second step of the process, is learning anatomy, because yeah, I have effectively drawn a majority of a body, right? But what happens when I want to start rendering? What happens when I want to know what's happening in here, for instance? What happens with all that stuff? So let's for a moment say that I'm going to make this a semi-complete drawing. The things that I would want to know, and that's why, for instance, this right here, that's why I drew these, is because I wanted to know where the shoulder muscle would be. This is the, basically the shoulder blade, it's called the scapula. The, here, let me get my little model out. I'm gonna actually pull up this really fast, stop drawing for a second. So, let me see if this is, if I'm gonna be able to get this in there. So, this way. This muscle right here, this is the deltoid, right? This is one of the more important muscles of the arm because it actually takes up, if you can see, it takes up about half of the upper arm. So knowing where these things connect will allow me to draw, at least from imagination, at least a semi-accurate character in this particular pose. So this is the shoulder blade. The deltoid attaches at the lower spine part of the shoulder blade. So that's this line that you saw right here. And then it comes up and goes around the arm like that. Jeez, hand's a little shaky. And then you get this break right in here. There's a muscle, the why am I blanking? Trapezius. The trapezius attaches to the back, like almost like where there's like a part of your skull that attaches right to your neck. I can show you here. So this piece right in here, let's see if you can see that. A little difficult on me. Maybe that's a little more helpful, but like right here. So I'm not going to explain all the muscles, but I just want you to know what I'm thinking as I'm going to draw this stuff. So I know that that attaches right in there. It's going to go across the top part of the scapula and come down. Oops. And this is curved, right? So It's going to come down this way. This part's going to come down that way. So now we have that, and I also know that there's this space right in here that is going to be bare because your one of your discs pops out right there and it kind of pushes out, and there's not really muscle on top of that. It's just kind of your disc and some skin. Alright, so now I'm going to finish up here. I'm just going to make it kind of sketchy right now because for whatever reason my hand is not cooperating with it, probably because I worked out today. I'm a little shaky. Alright, I should have just kept it the way I was doing. So we got this, and then it also is going to tell you what overlaps what. So I just said I wasn't going to explain it all, so I won't. But this is going to wrap around this way, and you're going to get a little bit of bicep that bulges out here before it flattens out, and then the ulna is going to go right here and point towards the pinky. Probably not quite that far in. It's going to point towards the pinky, which is the ulna is a bone. And now I know there's going to be an ovular shape right in here for the forearm muscle, and the ulna is going to separate those two muscles, and it's going to overlap this because this part of the arm's coming towards us. So when I first drew this, I was really imagining this kind of cylindrical shape. So it's kind of open-ended. Alright. And gonna get tricep. Tricep, I think I need to restudy some of these muscles. I think the tricep, yeah, the tricep is gonna slip under in here, but it's gonna bulge out pretty far before it comes here. Now, what I'm noticing is my knowledge on this anatomy of this part of the arm is lacking a little bit because I'm not 100% sure what should be happening right here. But that's why it's so important to know the anatomy and the shapes, is because if you know both, you can fill the gaps, right? One muscle that I'm forgetting about is this. I'm just going to take up some of this space here. So this can kind of live in here a little bit more. Yeah, it does tuck underneath. Let me think here. I think it's the forearm that I've messed up. With the arm like that, the elbow is going to be kind of facing more outwards than I had it. So you're only going to get a little bit of this side, and then you're going to get a bunch of this here. So yeah, there is a slight gap in my knowledge for what would happen right in here. So I'm not able to really draw that without using a reference, I don't think. I am, however, going to... This is flex, so it'll probably pop up a little bit bigger. And in here. am, however, going to get my sheet here. This is help. So just so you're all aware, the sheet's a mess now, but I'm just looking at this. I created this myself. This is like all the muscle groups and things. Alright, so from this back view, so we get this. It's going to attach. I think I see what happened. Okay. Let me take this and pull it down just a bit. Alright, so I'm gonna go in here. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening right in here. Okay, that's fine though. So that's something I'll look up later. And I will go ahead and draw the rest of what I know. So we get that. This is gonna wrap around. This is gonna wrap in. You're gonna get the erector spinae here. Oh, you're fine. And to me, this feels like I'm rusty actually. I'm a little disappointed in myself that I can't figure out like what's happening in here. I think I'm gonna look up a reference because that will bother me. Let's see here. This is the pose. There we go, that's what I wanted. Alright, so one of the things is just this actually drops down a little further than what I had it, especially for a person this size. It's a pretty beefy guy. And then there's a muscle that's going to kind of pull in here, and then we're gonna get so yeah, there's a muscle. Let me erase this away. There's a muscle here. Part of the tricep group. I was pretty spot on with the bicep before, and I have to remember that the tricep is going to take up a lot of this section too. And we're gonna get this. before it splits off. I think it'll split off like that a little more. Alright, so we have this shape, that shape. Probably go up a little bit in size. Alright, and then there's a slight like gap right in here that is going to, and I think really this could be this could be a little bigger. Jesus, getting sloppy. Let me erase this away just a bit so that I can redraw. So we have, it's actually probably a really good thing that I'm doing this because I definitely do not know the arm anatomy as well as I would like. So we're gonna get this. The deltoid, by the way, the shoulder muscle is like, it's kind of like 3 separate groups. So if we're looking at it slightly from above, and this is like the shoulder, there is a muscle in the delt that goes here. There's one that goes here, and then there's one that kind of comes out here. So you get this kind of shape. I think I went too big with my line. So you get that, and it kind of wraps around. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this shape and turn it like that, and then also like this. And what I would get is that. Actually, it's flatter than what I have. No. I think that, and then it's attached here. It comes up. Riding a struggle bus. Yeah, this deltoid and this angle is pretty difficult. Let me see if I can just get it in here. This one is a mystery. Let's see if I can find a pose that's a little bit better lit, because the lighting in that one's not great. Sorry, I'm not sure if y'all are commenting. Any chance that Max blinked twice? No. I haven't seen Max in a bit. Alright. Come on now. Here we go. Ah. Okay. So I wasn't really doing a good job in my imagination accounting for the fact that this is going to be rotated. So this is going to make my life a little easier. So we get that, and then oops. And then we're gonna get, so this is kind of here. Then we're gonna get let me see if I can get this thing and rotate the canvas a little bit. Oops. Oh, this thing. Oh, I thought it was dead. It is not dead. Give me 1 second, I just want to change the thing really fast to rotate. It's not working. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Alright, so rotated the canvas. This should help a little. Alright, so we get this, get the bicep coming around, get the brachialis muscle right in here, and then really this is covering up, this delt is so massive that it's covering up a majority of the arm, and then we're gonna get this slight flat spot before we go into the tricep, and then that is going to flatten out here until we get to the elbow. Oops. Alright. Alright, so we got that. And now there's this like triangular muscle that happens right in here. Elbow is here. We're gonna get ulna. Probably not quite that long. Probably stop right in here. brace that away just a little. You get a muscle here. It's climbing upwards towards there. There's going to be a plane shift here, so I want to indicate that. And then here. Okay. So for this though, I'm gonna just keep it kind of simple for the hand and do that. Say that's at least partially correct as to what the anatomy would look like for that. But that's why it's so important to understand. Like for instance, I was making a huge mistake in my understanding of what was happening in this area, right? So when you're doing that, it makes it hard, like it did for me, and I wasn't 100% sure how to draw the stuff that I was drawing because of it. I will say, given what I have, I think this actually would all come in just a bit. And then that's why I was also struggling in here, is because I didn't understand what was really going on with the delt. Right? So get something like that in the back, and that. This is actually a pretty good pose down here that I could take from a young Arnold. It seems he's safe. Yes. Sorry, I was working really hard on this. Alright, so with a really muscular person, you get, so this muscle back here is the lat. The lats are typically pretty flat. And then in here you have these two muscles. What are those called? Erectus spinae? Yeah. And they actually are going to be in here. So this is going to be pushed further out, actually. And it's going to kind of disappear in the back. And here you might see a little bit of the pec. Let's see here. Nah, you wouldn't see the pec. This will pop out more though before it goes around. Let me try to find a good reference. This is a good one. So what you're going to end up getting here is Nathaniel, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Going to end up getting a lot of Nah, you're fine. I'll probably stream for another 30 minutes and then I'll be done for the day. I don't know why I keep wanting to put that down. I can use it. What is this muscle? The oblique is going to be bunched up right in here. So you're gonna be able to see that. And watch it kind of fold into right here, just to be taken over by that. We'll see some of the abs as well. And even I think a little bit of this over here. Oops. Alright, let me see if I can find an even better reference than the one I have. Help me out here. You know what? That is probably a good reference to use. Oops. Aha! So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna slightly correct this pose, because I'll probably stream again tomorrow and Thursday, trying to get to that number for monetization. I'm very, very close. So I'll be back tomorrow at around 6:30, 7, somewhere in that range. All right. Hey, we got another sub. Who's sub? Ignis Nets. Don't know. Eastern Standard. So, 3 hours from now. So for Pacific, would that be? It'd be like 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, I believe. So I'm gonna take this and I spent so much time on this pose, but I think it's worth it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Alright, so let's get rid of this for a second. Does that work? Do I need to... Let me work on these legs for a second. I think that... So, this is what you gotta do sometimes if you're trying to figure out poses. So, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna put here. So, sorry, I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. So, I'm doing it like this. So, oh yeah, so it would be like, oh, I see, okay. Alright, so if the pose is like this, so the pose is like this, the hip, my brain is not working today. So the hip that is on the far side of the arm, so this hip over here, this leg is bearing most of the weight. So it's bearing most of the weight, and this leg is going to be, this knee is going to be like here. This leg, so if I'm drawing through, let's draw the hips first. So we have the torso here, traveling down. So I think that the hips are going to be at most like sideways pretty much. So we'll get this. Yeah, so the hips are going to be mostly covered. Woof. Mostly covered up. Then this leg is going to be here. This leg is going to be actually, it won't be that far. This leg will be here. And this leg will actually be, like I said, holding most of the weight. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I make such a hard pose? Let me see if I can get... Actually, you know what? Let me just do this little guy. This little guy will help me. So I just have this. Alright, so it's here. One of the things too is that, oh, I see what I was going for, okay. dude, the way that I had this, that would have been an impossible pose to have. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing. That's not a pose. Okay, so it's like this. This leg is going to be up. This leg will probably be back, or I could have this leg back and this leg up. Yeah, I'll do it that way. So, sorry guys, I know that this has taken a really long time, but that's why it's important to know your anatomy. Because if you can spot that there's something wrong, like for instance for me right there, it was difficult for me to figure out what was going on with the torso because the pose that I had created wasn't quite realistic. So because it was a little too, I like broke his spine actually. So this is going to be a slightly more realistic pose. Let me see here. One leg up, one leg back. So this leg in the back will be up. And this one would be like right in here. About to cut my losses. Let me see here. Let me get my little figurine out. That'll help. So I have this like this. Just twist it a bit. This leg is here. And this leg is here. This arm is up. Okay. This will go here and then legs are a little short, yeah, because this knee can actually go out. To about the elbow. take this, pull it up. And back just a bit. And I can redraw this leg now. You could probably just see what I was looking at as a reference. I got this little figurine guy. Alright. Just try the legs one more time. Alright. So we got that one in. Probably take this bit and I think it was fine. One thing I can do though is take all of this. It, shrink a bit. Alright, I am gonna see something really fast though, because I did do this pose recently and it's driving me bonkers. I did it from imagination recently. I want to see how I drew it because I don't really understand what's happening here. I don't know why I can't like put it together in my head. I mean, I do know why. I'm just exhausted, but how long ago was this? It's this one, I think. Yeah. It's this pose right here. Look how clean that is. Let me see something here. Peace. Huh. Alright, well, I'm going to redraw this pose again because I obviously was able to do it before and do it from imagination, and it looked really good because that's a really nice looking pose. I don't see anything like anatomically really wrong with it. Oh boy. Coop. 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 I'm giving you your shot. Mod. Alright, sorry about that, everybody. Had a bot. It's crazy that I get bots on here. Alright. Oh no, you're good. I took care of it, Coop. Alright. Fire Spy Ghost, what's up? Alright, sounds good. Sounds good, Coop. I appreciate it. Okay, this one is a 10 out of 10. That is a pretty solid one. Suck at female anatomy. I can maybe try to help. I'm off my game today, but I will do my best. Give me 1 second. Let me just finish up this this sketch I got going here. Alright, so the last time I started to discuss female anatomy versus male anatomy, my roof started leaking, so yeah, sorry, I just want to fix this one thing really fast. That was gonna bug me. Yeah, what was I doing over here? I'm just gonna erase this. It's gonna bother me if I look at it any longer. Okay. So for female anatomy, let's just start with a front view. I'll probably do this, and after I do this, I will probably get ready to get off. I'm gonna do yeah, I know. At least it's not raining today, so. Alright, so the first thing that's important with female anatomy is that you want your hips to be at least the same width as your shoulders. I do have a female. Where is it? What the heck? Did I put it somewhere? Oh, it's over there. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get my model. Alright, so as you can see here, like her shoulders and her hips are like almost the same. I would even say that you would want to do let me see something here. Like you want it to be almost like the same, right? You want it to be pretty close to being the same width, and that'll help your initial work with your female characters. Like when you're making your skeleton, like this should be this and this should be about the same. So the next piece is that females, their pelvis is pretty wide and short in comparison to a male. So this is, it's a horrible oval, but that's what a female pelvis looks like, and this is probably a little closer to what a male's would look like. So if I was to do the same size, it would be for a female. So this is the difference. I know it doesn't look like much, but there is a pretty big difference here. This is tilted towards us a little bit more than this one is, and then the height is much different. Again, it doesn't really look like it, but you know, maybe I did a bad job of drawing it, but we will see. So I did kind of do a little bit of a rough job drawing this. Well, not really. So you can see that there's that space up at the top, and really there's even more. It's just that it's tilted towards us a little bit. You could probably exaggerate it a little bit more, but okay. So that's where we'll start. I like to make this like pretty large area right in here, which is also part of the hips. So this actually adds to this over here. And the reason why I do that is because females typically store more fat right in here than men do. Typically, obviously this is all generalizations, right? will be a little bit lower. Sorry, let me just wanna, jeez, dude, my brain is just not working today. I'm having a lot of difficulty drawing. Hopefully tomorrow's a better day. Okay. I'm also probably just being hard on myself. Alright. Okay. I'm glad it's helpful. Sorry that I'm like taking forever. Usually draw much quicker than this, but alright, so you can even exaggerate this part of this shape even more. Now the next piece, and I am going to pull this up just slightly. The next piece that's really important is these oval shapes that I put here. So these shapes, there's going to be a little bit of fat right in there as well. So you'll get that. Alright. To be honest with you, I could widen this out a little bit. I made it a little thinner than I would like. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to transform, free transform. Perfect. So yeah, that's better because I can see that it's about the same now. Before it was a little thin. Just one of those days, yeah, you are 100% correct. It's been I've been having really long work days. I'm gonna take her arm. Stop trying to be fancy and place it. Here. And this arm I will just hang down and back. Alright, so I think that this body is crooked. It is. Feels a little better. Let's see if it is better. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. I could just tell that there was a problem there. Alright, so the next thing that's important, right, is the chest area. So let me just finish this slight hourglass shape off. So the female breast, this is where anatomical knowledge is important. So you get the pecs. Should I use a different layer? Yeah, let me use a different layer. Let me tone this one down a bit. Go here. So when you're drawing the pecs, you'll get something like this. Alright. I'm gonna take a quick drink of water because I'm like dying of thirst. To be able to get get the female anatomy of the chest correct. People do this wrong all the time. People want to place up here, and that's not right. What is right is the muscle creeps up in here, and then, oops. That line is way too wobbly for my liking. What is happening? So what you end up getting actually is because basically with the female, the extra anatomy that females have, I don't know how happy YouTube would be about me using what it's actually called too much, but the lady lump. It sits, it's a fat deposit, so it sits here at the bottom, like quadrant of the pec. Like this, and then to like actually get it so it looks right, because this still doesn't look quite right, we actually would tilt it towards this spot on the chest a little, just a bit. It also comes up and connects back up where the pec fits, right? And I think that I could probably pull this even closer towards the sternum. And then you'll also get stuff like this. So you'll get like a little bit of a dip before it comes back up in some cases. Just depends on the woman that you're drawing. But basically what this area is imagine give me 1 second. Imagine this is a horrible balloon, but imagine a balloon, but instead of air being in there, it's filled with water. So you have a water balloon, and it's a water balloon on a flat surface. So it's going to go like this. That's exactly what it's like here. So you get a water balloon and you place it on a flat surface. It's going to be impacted by gravity quite a bit. Actually, and then the other part of this that's important is where breasts get larger. That would have definitely got me booted. And where breasts get larger, it's actually not up here. It's down here. So if I were to go back to what I had, the growth of this would occur here. And that's how you would make that work. So now you can see this side is larger than this side, but hello. Thanks. Hey, we got the 20 likes again. What the heck is going on here? 2 streams in a row. Thank y'all. So, here I can, oops, that's not what I wanted. I can zoom out, and you can see that this over here is larger than this, but it works because of where we made it grow. So let's draw it incorrectly so that you can kind of see the difference. I know, right? It's crazy. This stream has also gotten 106 total views. It's one of the highest I've gotten. I think my highest view count for a stream was 120. So let's draw it incorrectly, and we'll see how it looks. So I'll disconnect the top part, and I'll keep it like this. And you can already see it looks kind of broken, right? But this is how people typically draw chests for females, and it doesn't work because it's not the way female anatomy works. Oh, you're good, Shiny. Which Pokemon were you playing? It sounds fun. So, let's make her anatomy consistent on both sides now. We got this going, so we'll go here. Violet, nice. Is it fun? I've heard it's pretty good. Yeah, of course. You can always take a break. Alright, I'm gonna try to do one more from imagination, and then we'll finish up, because I'm very displeased with my attempt to redraw this, which I drew from imagination just a week ago or 2 weeks ago. 11/15, so 2 weeks ago I drew that to the date. And I mean, granted, this is fine, but it wasn't nearly as good. Yes, they are. Yep. That's what I was kind of showing over here. It's like a balloon filled with water, and then you lay it on like a flat surface, and it's gonna be dragged down by gravity. All right, let's do quick pose, what I want. You know what? I think I'm gonna try this pose again on a different. It's almost like Mike knows. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna open up a new page again, and I'm gonna retry to do that pose, because I do like that pose. Alright. This leg is just slightly longer than what it should be. Let me zoom out just a bit. Upper body is slightly too big, and I need to tilt it this way to give it a sense of balance. And then I'll do this. And this. This. This can probably go up a little bit more. I think that I can do that. That. Yes, alright. So let's fill in just a bit of anatomy here. Alright. The reason why I'm tilting him a little bit is just because I'm looking at his like center of gravity, which is like here-ish. I'm trying to make sure it feels balanced on both sides. Right now it's fine because when you're looking at whether or not a character is balanced, the main thing is where are his feet or her feet or their feet, and is the middle of the body somewhere in between their feet? The answer to that question for this character is yes. So that character is at least somewhat balanced. I am going to fix this. Overlaps are really important too when you're doing this, like this amount of like, this is a lot of foreshortening actually. So for instance, like this overlap, and that overlap are really important to tell, or to show so that the viewer can know like what's in front of what. And then alright, the back arm doesn't matter so much. And then we're going to get a pretty big bulge for the bicep and the bicep. I'm trying to think from this view, the deltoid is going to wrap in like that, and it's going to be kind of difficult There's going to be a slight divide right in here, I think, but it'll be kind of difficult to tell what's where, kind of, from this angle. At least from my imagination, I would have to look that up. We'll get that. Yeah. Alright, so get this in here. Okay. Coop your cringe. He is sometimes, but gotta love him. Alright. So this is a little thick. A little too thick. There's a lot of different relationships that you have to think about too with muscle groups, as well as the actual... I do not love him. That's fine. So yeah, I'm just filling in like the muscles and stuff right now. This muscle. Let me see something here. Yeah. So this is going to come down. Sagittarius. You're gonna also see some of those muscles. You could probably I liked what that one was. I need to change where. We can get the sword in here. 1% toleration. Hey man, we're at 25 likes. What is happening today? Thank you all, I appreciate that. So we can erase away some of this. Alright. I think one thing that I want to change is this. I think that this could actually be, so it's it down a bit and maybe pulled in a bit. That's probably why I had that urge to want to do that. be fair, you have a pretty annoying, you have to be pretty annoying for me to not tolerate you at all. Oh boy. Let me see here. From this angle, actually, I think one thing, yeah, I'm gonna change this just slightly. I think that this leg could come towards us just a bit more. Yeah, I definitely had it a little too flat. Maybe not quite that much. Is that any better? Let me see something here. See what it looked like before. I don't think I have to delete all of that. I think that I can just get away with doing this. Oh, the misery. Y'all are funny. Alright. What if what I lack in toleration and friendliness Mike makes up for? Thank you. I will take that as a gigantic compliment. Appreciate that, appreciate it. Alright. Said I wasn't going to erase it all, ended up erasing it all anyways. Alright. So one thing I think, and I know this might seem odd, but I do think that you're going to actually see a little bit of the glute back there from this angle. This is the knees facing this way, the foot's going to be facing this way. Alright, I think I'm happier with that one. Still not quite as good as the original that I did. Yeah, that original came out really nice. Guess I could straighten this up. Oh, DJ. Appreciate your enthusiasm. Alright, I'm gonna redraw this lake one last time. Because this is gonna bother me. Alright. That feels better to me. Alright, one last thing. I keep saying one last one, but I feel like I'm getting back into a groove, so I just want to do one last thing really fast. I'm just going to do a quick standing pose. But really think about the perspective. Once I'm finished with this, I'll also show y'all what I mean by perspective, because I think that's a topic that's a little confusing. How do you do perspective with a body, with like a human body? Give me 1 second, because this is not what I wanted to see. I'm gonna tilt a little bit. Alright. So, tilt, and then there are a few things that I want to make sure I get with this pose. Alright, Coop. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be dropping off in a second myself. You have a nice night too. Alright, I'm gonna take this leg and pull it out a bit. Just a little bit. So, sorry, give me 1 second. I just found a quick mistake there. Alright, so jeez, I keep doing this. I'm sorry, people. I'm always like, alright, so, and then I stop and I fix things. Alright, this is definitely good enough. Really beefy legs, but that's okay. So when you look at perspective with the human body, what you want to look at is, so we have, like, I would say that I would say that the horizon line is like right in here, and my brain is telling me that like a point right in here is where we would want to be. So you get knees, feet, ankles, hands. Elbows are a little off, so I can fix this one. Elbows are really off, actually, because the shoulders are. Shoulders and stuff. I mean, granted, this is a little bit too squished, but that's what I'm thinking about, right? Is all of this stuff going to a specific direction, and I didn't do a very good job. This back shoulder, for whatever reason, this is one of the things that I always kind of mess up when I'm doing my perspective. But this is how you would check yourself with that, right? So here, and then it's gonna flatten out as it goes, and then it's gonna start going the opposite direction. So, all right, everybody, I think I'm gonna wrap up for today. I'll be back tomorrow doing more of this stuff. Probably gonna spend less time on the actual gestures in the beginning and more time on doing poses from imagination, just because I want to get myself reacquainted with that. But I hope that y'all have a fantastic night. Thank y'all, every single one of y'all, for all the support you've been giving me, and I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 and or 7. Peace. Have a good night, DJ. I appreciate you hanging out.